Everybody, welcome back to the RawCaveShow. Today we have Jerome Lamarque in the studio. This is the Raw Cave. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here, Zach. I'm looking forward to this all weekend.
Awesome. So, look, we organised this like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to get Jerome in here, guys, is because he's a peak performance coach here in Sydney. He works with business owners, but more importantly, you help people find more fulfillment in their life. Is that right?
Yeah, fulfillment in their work.
In their work.
Yeah. Helping them marry up success and fulfillment as well, marrying up together. Yeah, so
and
it's not lopsided.
Yeah, true. I think this is so important because the time we have on this planet is, you know, a certain period of time.
Totally agree.
And I just value anybody who's going out there to achieve the most they can in their life. You know, every single day I know that you're a family man, you've got a business running, and you're just out there, going for it. And with this idea of peak performance, you know, I did a lot of Tony Robbins growing up.
Did you?
And
Oh, wow.
So I totally I'm fascinated by how, you know, little changes in the mind or the body can make a big difference. So really, anybody watching today, you're going to get a lot of strategies on mindset, but also on, you know, just how to get the most out of your day. We're going to talk about goals, organization, passion, and this. I don't really know where to start, but let's just start with your story. Like, how did you get into this? You have a background in fitness.
Yeah, fitness, but I think how I got into being passionate about being a coach and helping people was which I talk in my workshops, is when I was 11 years old. My first real incident of understanding the coaching methodology was being bullied. You know, and I was bullied. I'll cut this really short for the interview, but I was bullied, and then I went home and I was like not myself for a few days. And my dad said, you know, what's going on? And my dad was ex-military, you know, and he got awards. He was a pathfinder in the Second World War and fought in the Spanish Civil War. And he basically didn't parent me; he coached me through this bullying. And you know, I remember him sitting there and going, well, you know, after he sort of found out, well, what's going on? You're not your normal self. And I went. You know, eventually he got it out of me, and he said, well, you've got two choices. And I thought he was going to say, well, you know, I'll go down to school and talk to him, or we can leave and put you in another school. And he goes, you know, you've got two choices, that you're there for another 5 or 6 years, because this was my first year. You can either have those days and be fun and happy, or they can be miserable and sad. It's your choice.
Right.
And I was like, that's not what I wanted to hear at 11 years. I want you to go and beat the bully up. Dad, come beat the bully up. Yeah. So he gave me the choice, and then he sat down with me and he gave me a whole strategy on how human behaviour is and how you get the outcome you want. And from that, I think, you know, when I've gone back and looked at what got me into this, it was that moment, because the next 5 years I really enjoyed school, but I got coached on what to do to achieve my outcome.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he asked me, well, you got two choices. You can have a good time at school or a miserable time at school in the next 5 or 6 years. What do you want? And I, you know, 11 years old, you think, what the fuck's going on here? You know, but he got me through it, and I've always, and I took it into my parenting. You know, I had a massive desire to be a father from a young age, and what sort of partner did I want? And you know, was unconsciously really looking for that in the world, because I knew what I wanted. And when I found this person, she wasn't interested in me, but I knew that was the mother of my children.
Wow.
You know, and I became the hunter. You know, and I you know,
wow.
Yeah, and I said, like, you know,
this is your wife today?
Oh yeah, we're not married.
Okay.
We've been together 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's incredible.
And so going values match. That's the mother of my children. Went eventually persistence in the sales process, you know, because everything's selling. Everything you're either buying or selling all the time. You're buying someone's philosophy or beliefs, or you're buying someone's ideas, or you're buying someone's strategies, or you're buying someone product or service. So you're always buying something or selling something. And it's so I wore her down eventually. She said yes.
She tied out. She couldn't run away any longer.
And the interesting thing is, she didn't want to be a mum. She was not interested in being a mum, and I then had to go back into another sales process. Right. You know, and now she was like, so and I got the kids I wanted, and you know, it's not the best way to set goals, relying on other people. But at that age, I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am today. Yeah, exactly. But I got my outcome. I was very fortunate. I got my outcome. I had a son and a daughter. We wanted them very close in age, because we wanted them to be good friends. And so, I wrote down all my strategies about what would be a good parent, what would be a great father. Sorry, from my perspective. And one of those goals was, sitting down with my kids 5 times a week, having dinner with them. So I wrote down all these goals, and then, and then looked at what job would allow me to have a family and do that. Yeah. And apart from being a criminal, which wouldn't guarantee that, because if I got caught and got put away in prison,
you can't spend 5 days.
I can't spend 5 days, and some of my other goals were I wanted to take my kids to school and pick them up. I wanted that freedom to do that. So then I knew I couldn't do that, and then and I got some really good opportunities to start a business, and I looked at my goals and I said that business won't allow me to achieve my goals. So it helped me in my decision making. So I was forming my coaching philosophy and beliefs at that age, yet I didn't know it was that. And so, and then I went and studied as a London taxi driver, London cab driver, because when I'd done all my research on what I could do, it was the best job I could do, where it gave me the freedom to come and go as I pleased, and pay the bills, and also spend a lot of time with my kids in the first 11, 12 years of their life, which was really important to me. So that's how it started to plan. And I always, when someone says, I've got a problem, I went, well, what didn't you do yesterday that caused this problem? So we create our own problems, and it pisses people off sometimes, but that's one of my philosophies and belief. I believe we create our own problems, so by what we didn't do yesterday, and
the solution, I guess, where we can get ourselves out of it.
Yeah, and this is I think for me, this one of the biggest secrets to life is to don't take yourself seriously, but take your life seriously. So. Because there's going to be many challenges along the way, and if you don't take yourself too seriously, you deal with those challenges so much easier, so much more healthier, and you just move through them, because that person didn't like me, so what? They didn't like me. Move on. There's no energy around it, and just carry on. Or I didn't make a sale in business. There was a big, the other about 6 months ago, on the verge of getting a 20 grand contract, fell through. Just move on. There's no energy around it. What was the lessons from it? What were the lessons from it? There's no energy around not getting the 20 grand, because you can always go and get money, but you can't get back your time. So just learning those things and being light around those challenging moments. Whereas a lot of business owners will get really stressful around it. So everything is a learning and a progress, because the things that you can tweak in that moment from not getting it might get you the 50 grand contract.
That's right.
Yeah. And if you'd have got that 20 grand contract, you might not have had the time and energy to do the 50 grand contract. So it's always going to play out in some way, but if you're working from your heart, it'll fall into place eventually. Everything will start falling into place.
Great.
Because people want to work with people who care about them and are passionate about what they do, more than want their money.
Sure.
So so that was my philosophy growing up, and how I got into coaching, I think, from a personal perspective.
So much there. I think I can totally relate, because I was bullied in primary school as well, and picked on, teased, all that type of thing. Did that put a lot of pressure on you? Did it take you a while to get out of that?
No, because I had a coach.
So you got back on your horse pretty quickly?
Yeah, because I realised that because I had a coach, I didn't sit with myself for too long. My father coached me through that period,
right?
And that's when I realised the power of coaching. And if you haven't got that person around you to help you with strategy, you can stay stuck in the unresourceful strategy and keep repeating the same mistakes. So no, I didn't sit there for very long. I became happy very quickly again.
Good,
because I got coached through it.
Good.
And I go into more detail in my workshops, but and then how that formulates back to work, business. Work.
I was stuck there for a while, though, I must admit, and a lot of people are, and I find they go to food, or it might be get played computer games, 16 hours a day. You know, we find different ways of getting out of the pain.
Yeah.
How does someone, I guess if someone's watching and they might be in that situation where they have the low confidence, or they have they're stuck, they're just stuck on the couch watching TV, or they're stuck in these limiting patterns or limiting behaviors. How does someone start to stretch out and start to leave that stuff in the past?
I think that's a really good question, and I would never, you know, if I was advising someone, I would say don't start with a big picture. Start with a picture you can handle.
Right.
It might be just walking around the block.
Okay, like baby steps.
Always, yeah. You've got anything you build, and it's like going to the gym. If I say to you, come and we're gonna lift, you know, like 180k squats now today, and you've never been in the gym before, it's going to smash your confidence, because you're not going to do it. You're going to get hurt. You're going to associate it to pain, and then you're probably not going to want to come back again. But if I say come to the gym and we're going to spend 10 minutes on the treadmill, and while we're doing it we're going to laugh a lot, you go, I want to go back again.
Yeah,
that was fun. I could do it.
Yeah,
and I think it's high achievers always set realistic goals, whereas low achievers set really easy goals, or they set really difficult goals. So it's to get that person off the couch, I think it's really important. You just go, look, let's go to the theatre tonight. Just get them moving, you know. Let's go something they really enjoy. Let's go and have a drink. Let's go and have a coffee.
Just anything
to just start the ball rolling.
Right.
That inspires them. You know, not what inspires you, what inspires them. You know, and you, if you're trying to get someone to live in your values, it's never going to work. So if you're going to put pressure on them through your values and the way you say they should live, you're not going to motivate them.
No way, yeah.
You've got to know what that person values and understand it from their life cycle, and then whatever it is, and it's time, nurturing, giving them time and letting them do it when they're ready. I see that a lot in business. You know, clients go, I've been wanting to work with you for 6 months, but I'm ready now.
Right.
You know, and before, you know,
timing's important.
yeah, and so there's no energy around the sales, because I know that person eventually will come to me. You know, because I know I'm the right person, but they might not be ready for me. They might need to do some more internal, you know, investigations of themselves and that, and then they go, right, I'm ready for someone like you now, that's not going to take my bullshit. I'm ready now to have someone like you who's not going to buy into my limiting beliefs. You know, because if you're going to work with a high performance coach,
you're going to crack the whip.
It's not. Yeah, it's not someone that's crap, but they're not going to buy into your limiting beliefs. And it's not about cracking the whip, because that can be. It's more about, if I'm going to see the best in you, right? And if I don't believe you can achieve this, I won't coach you in the first place. Yeah. If I don't believe you're capable of this, I'm not the right coach for you.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe you. But if I believe in you and you come to me with a limiting belief, I'm not going to buy into your limiting belief. I'm going to buy into my beliefs of what you're capable of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through, you know, tests we've done leading up to the program, you know, analyzers and things like that, I can see that, you know, you've got something, but your self-esteem is low.
Right.
Or your
Something's in the way.
Your belief system's in the way, or your confidence is low, you know, in the subject that you might be really good at, but for one reason you've had a knock in life, and it's just derailed you a bit.
Sure. How do you bring somebody up on their shit, so to speak? Like, if you see that there's a limiting pattern, or that they're falling into their old behaviors, are you straight up with it? Are you more caring, or it depends on the person?
Depends on the person. Some person you have to coach them.
Right.
Some person they're looking for leadership. You need to do this.
Right.
You know. And some people you need to coach them, so you have to coach them in a way where they're responsible for the actions. They're committing to what they want to do in between now and the next session. The commitment's coming from them. Right. Some people go, can you just tell me what to do, and I'll do it, because they're ready. They just want it. They're eager. Sometimes you have to slow them down. You know, they're too eager. So they're positive plus, and you want them positive neutral. So yeah.
What does that mean? What is that?
Well, in motivation, you're going to positive plus, positive neutral, positive minus. Okay. And where do you sit in that framework? Because there's many ways to fail, but there's only really one way to be successful. You know, so unless you're running a successful strategy, and what do I mean by successful? It's when you attain your goals you're still healthy, you've still got good relationships, you know, you haven't totally destroyed everything on your way to achieving a financial goal, for instance.
Right.
You know, just bulldozed your way through getting there. So when I mean success is what it means to that person, but from my perspective, how are you going to build a business that's giving you everything you want while maintaining your health, while maintaining your relationships with people? Yeah.
So it sounds like the holistic approach. So it's not
holistic approach, but it's the successful approach, because you can get there, you can get your money and go, shit, I'm not talking to my kids anymore.
Right.
I've divorced the wife.
Right.
You know, and now I've got the money, and who do I share it with? You know, who do I spoil? You know, probably spoil's not a very good word, but what do I do with the money now I've got it?
Right.
You know, and I'm on my own basically. So what are you attaining money for? You know, so if you've destroyed the things that you wanted to attain the money for along the way,
you're gonna lose that.
Because money's only a tool. It's only a tool, and you teach. And some people come to you and they go, "I want to earn X, Y, Z." You go, "Great. What do you want to earn it for?" Because I want to do this, this, and this. But what you want to earn is so much more than what you need to do X, Y, and Z. So why are you going to work even harder to do these things when you can bring your goals down for the money you need to do it?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's like saying I want to put a nail in a piece of wood.
My dog.
Yeah,
He's catching the birds.
yeah. I think you agreed with us on that one, or maybe you disagreed. It's like wanting to put a nail in a piece of wood, and I go and get a million hammers to do it. Well, you only need one hammer, and it needs to be this hammer because it's that head on that nail. So you don't need a sledgehammer.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
You need a carpenter's hammer. You know, and you only need that to do the job. Well, you only need so much money to do the job you want to do in your life.
Yes, and someone people don't see this though, do they?
Well,
I believe everyone needs a coach, because it's like it's they see things that them themselves don't see.
Yeah, or what society says they should have.
Right.
Yeah, you want to be rich. You should be doing this. Should be, you know, you go to a workshop, live life on your terms. You know, sail around the world. But not everyone wants. Some people actually just want to work and do what they're passionate about, and get out every day and work because they love it. You know, but how can they do it in a healthy way?
So you said success is about like living life on your terms. How does someone? I think so many people are confused. We live in a world where there's, especially my generation, there's so much overwhelm. Well, I've felt at times super overwhelmed because there are so many options of like, what do you do? There's the internet, you can go traveling, you can do this, and there's a lot of conditioning through the media.
Yeah.
How does someone like find out what is life like on their own terms? You just have obviously to ask the question, maybe, or
yeah. Well,
is there a certain way?
With me, I've got a business analyzer and I've got a personal analyzer, and depending on what's going on for that person, if it's about business, we do the business analyzer. If it's about their personal life, or you're working with an athlete, I need to know. So the personal analyzer will help me.
This is like a checklist?
No, an online program that
okay.
go on before I work with you.
Oh, okay.
So you do that. And then we have a coaching session around that, and from the questions that come out, I can see what's going on for you, so then I know what questions to ask you, because I can see what comes up, it highlights it, and it will help me discover more about you. Then I can ask you the right questions, going, I see a pattern here, you know, how's this pattern working for you? And then if it's working in a good way, we keep it. If it's not, we have to change that strategy. And then we go on to a self-mastery program where whatever area of life you need to master, we work on it, whether it's leadership, whether it's having better relationships with yourself, whether it's about having better relationship with other people, whether it's about feeling more confident in your sales. That self-mastery area we'll work on through the program, and it's specifically designed for you.
Okay. Is there a difference between goals and strategy? You've spoken about strategy.
You've got the goal, and the strategy takes you there.
Okay.
So in business, the mission is the strategy, or the how you're going to get there. Or how you're going to get there, and the vision is where you're going to go. You know?
Say that again. So you got
the mission. Yep. Is how you're going to get there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the vehicle that you get in, and the vision is where is the destination.
Right. On the nav man.
Yeah. And the drivers are your belief systems, so your values and principles of your philosophy that you create the culture within your business. So to do that, because you want to create a culture in your business that people feel they're in the right place. So Get Performing is not right for someone who's into meditation and tranquility and peace, and mine's all about getting out there and
the results.
Yeah, the results, and becoming a better leader of yourself, becoming creating more good habits than bad habits. So a lot of people talk about discipline a lot, and I don't really use that in my coaching. All I do is say, look, let's work on your micro bad habits and turn them into micro good habits. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't got this thing around discipline. It's to have real discipline in life, you have to be a disciple to something, which is a philosophy and belief. And if you haven't got the philosophy and belief, it's very difficult to be disciplined around something.
Right.
Where you haven't created a philosophy and belief around it. So, and as you're working through the coaching programs, we create a philosophy and belief for you and how you're going to live your life.
Interesting.
That's going to give you fulfillment
Powerful.
in your work. Yeah, that you get up every day and go, this is who I am. I would stand on stage and die saying these things.
Wow.
So
powerful.
Yeah. This is what I truly believe, and as a business owner and a leader, you have to have that. You have to have that. This is who I am, and this is, a lot of people are going to disagree with you, and a lot of people are going to agree with you. It's just part of the journey. So.
Good point.
But you've got to stand for something in life. If you don't stand for anything in life, you fall for everything. So. Yeah.
You've got get performing. So get is the goals.
G is the goals in get.
Sorry, what did I say?
It's get.
Get. What did I say? J.
Yeah. Get performing. So the get is GET. So the G in get is goals. The E stands for energy, and the T stands for time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So get goals, energy, time, performing.
And energy, there's more to it than just is it physical energy, health energy you mean? Or you were talking about masculine energy, feminine energy?
Yeah, you can
really
talk about masculine and feminine energy. You've got your mental energy, you've got your emotional energy, you've got your physical energy, and you've got your spiritual energy as well. So in sports psychology, you want to get them working at least 8, 9 out of 10, your mental energy, your emotional energy, physical and spiritual energy, to be really, because it's all about living in flow with who you are. And that's why I'm passionate about business owners, because they can create a business where they live in flow with themselves. And so the best way you can be a role model for someone else is to live in flow with your own energy. And people go, wow, that person's got a really good energy. It really helps in the sales process of business, because you're not attached to the outcome of that person buying your products or not.
Right.
Because you're just doing what you love to do.
It's so powerful, isn't it? Like the flow.
It's so simple as well.
Yeah. Like how does someone create the flow? How does someone?
Well, it's always under our nose. Our purpose, our things that really make us fulfilled. It's always, and sometimes it's so close to us that we don't see it. And it's like me going back to those conversations with my friends in sitting in the car or sitting on the steps in their houses and that, just having these deep, meaningful conversations about life. I was doing what I'm doing with you now then. But I didn't.
Tell them about that. What was that story? So you
were just fascinated about life. How does someone, who we perceived as not good looking, gets the most beautiful girl in the club, and someone who's, really good looking, or we perceive really good looking, is like standing there at the bar at the end of the night on his own, and it's like, he's going home on his own. We just used to have these massive debates and conversations about it. I was always doing that, and so always fascinated about the results between failure and success, and what makes someone a success and what makes someone a failure, and it's really interesting. So and I'm just doing the same thing now, but with an outcome more, and a niche market, so for business owners.
It sounds like you've been very clear on like what you enjoyed from a young age. You were having conversations like that.
Always.
The clarity, I find, is a really important part of the equation, and then you put the strategy to it. I think most people don't even have the clarity of the goal, or then they don't find the strategy, and then they're just like stuck. Anyway.
Yeah.
So there's the energy part of that, and then you've got, what was the last of get T? Time. Okay.
Yeah. So everyone sees time differently. So for me, when I was 19 and I got asked kindly to leave my job, by someone who I really love and dearly respect. What happened was I walked out of there, and the way I see time in my life was different to the way that business was for me. So for me, 9 to 5 didn't work. It just didn't work. And and before that, I had 3 or 4 jobs, and the outcome was the same, you know. And I was basing I was only going to work for money, for the weekend, to enjoy the weekend.
Right.
And so there was no enjoyment in my work apart from really looking forward to Friday and the wage packet. And that was the highlight of my working week.
Yeah.
So I wasn't in the moment in my work doing what I loved.
You're living for the weekend.
I was living for I was more passionate about being in the club dancing, you know, because I was passionate about dancing. And the wage packet just got me to do that. You know, so so that's what, you know, and I walked out and I said, look, I'm just not cut out to it, and I never worked for anyone else ever again. So.
Wow.
And I've never been, and when people complain about their bosses, and I don't understand it, because I don't really put myself in that situation, because I've only got a few minutes in this life and on this planet. So from the age of the day you're born to if you live to 90, it's like 32,850 days, you know, so it's not a lot of days.
Yeah.
And how do you want to be in that moment? If you were planning your life to be a party, how would you want the reception to be? How would you want the main core of the party to be? And how would you want everyone to leave? You know, you want them to leave happy and saying that was amazing, and you know, we really enjoyed it, and the music was good, and the food was fantastic. You want your life to be like that as well. You know, how was the start of your life? That's what I did with my kids. I wanted them to have a really good, happy childhood. They had an amazing, happy childhood, and designed it around that. You know, so for instance, we made sure that the school they went to, they could walk to. So we didn't want that stress of getting in the car, sitting in traffic.
The bus. I hated the bus.
Exactly. So we planned it. Well, what's going to be a happy childhood? You know, kids that can walk to school, they can ride their bikes and things like that. So what constitutes a happy childhood? Not focusing on exam results, not the pressure of exam results. You can go and learn anything at any time, but just enjoy going to school and having fun and learning about relationships, learning about you more. I wasn't really interested if my kids got, you know, there was that underlying, you know, you really want to do well at school, but do it if you love it. If you don't enjoy maths, don't put any energy into it, because you can go and learn maths at any time. So I was always from that with, you know, and if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's not my life, it's your life.
Yeah. And you communicated that to your kids.
Yeah. You didn't want to come in this world, I wanted you. Yeah. So, you know, and
you want to give them the best life.
I just wanted them to be happy, because, you know, I knew at certain ages I took up a course. I went and studied, restudied, and, you know, I've studied in, I'm looking at, you know, I've studied as a fitness coach. I did that when the kids were 12 and got to a certain age, and, you know, I wasn't enjoying the cab trade, and I went and studied in something else, and then turned my taxi into a mobile gym. So I used to go to these people's houses and train them in Kensington and Hampstead, and completely changed my job, but kept the cab. And so
you didn't drive the cab, you didn't pick people up, you just carried all your gym equipment in the back?
I turned it in, but I was legally I was a London cab driver. But, you know, I put advertising all over it, and I had to fight LTA to do it, because, you know, they wanted to keep it black, and I bought a white cab. So, you know, I was into marketing. I didn't know I was marketing. I just wanted people to see that I was a personal trainer, not a cab driver. So I did all that stuff, and and then I worked with actresses. I worked with you know, people that worked for the Queen. I worked with people that had their own producing their own music companies and things like that. And I became like their personal trainer and like personal chauffeur and things like that. So I sort of left the cab trade bit by bit, but I was doing something I really loved.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I waited for my kids to get to a certain age so I could do that. So, because of dynamics, they wanted me less and mum less, because they wanted their mates more. So their life was going on a different journey, so I needed to have a purpose in my life as well.
Yeah, for sure.
It
sounds like you've had like I really find that the difference with people who are super successful and not successful is this hunger and like this willingness to never give up and this perseverance.
Yeah.
Is that a natural thing?
I think hunger's a good word. I think what you said earlier though is it's just clarity in where you're going. Because you haven't got to be really driven. You go, okay, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. That's probably not what a high achiever does. He gets up and there's a calmness to him. He's chilled, you know, but he knows where he's going. You know, and they're reserving their energy and their time, and they're calm in what they're doing, and they know it will play out. But that was my time, going back to the T and get, that was my time. I move more calmly because I've trained myself to move more calmly, because studying research on high achievers, you can't climb a mountain if you sprint. Yeah? If you get up, you can't climb a mountain if you don't plan properly. You can't climb a mountain if you don't prepare properly. And when you're on that mountain, you have to pace yourself. And you have to pace yourself with good energy, you know, and calmness, and saying everything's going to be all right. I've planned, I've prepared. Just take one step at a time.
Interesting.
Yeah, because most people want instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a society, and that goes against the philosophy of a high achiever.
So what are some other qualities of a high achiever? That's fascinating.
Are
these studies you've
this is from sports psychology.
Read through? Yep.
Yeah. So when you're working with an athlete, you know, to go to the Olympics, you know, and there's like 4 years preparation for it. You can't be going mad. You have to pace yourself, because you want to peak at the Olympics. You don't want to peak 6 months before.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you want to peak when you get there.
Right.
And that takes a lot of planning and organisation, you know, and knowing your rhythms, you know, your own rhythms, you know, little habits that, you know, what someone else does might not necessarily be right for you. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to live life on your terms, not on someone else's terms.
Yeah.
Just because something works for someone doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for you. Just because people get up at 6 a.m. and go for a run first doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for you. And that you hear this in workshops, you go and you go, get up and everything, and this is what successful people do, and blah, blah. No, you do what's right for you, because you could be dead tomorrow. Yeah. And you want to enjoy that day you had before doing what was right for you, what was right for Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, our next breath is not guaranteed. So you want to make sure you're enjoying the process as well, and whatever that is for you, as long as it's healthy and ecological, and you're improving the quality of society in your business. You know, because you've got to put your head on the pillow at night. You know, so
satisfaction.
Yeah, you're living with yourself 24 hours a day, so you want to make sure that that relationship's really happy. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's a peak performance there. Patience, obviously, they have that calmness to them, that confidence.
Yeah, they're focused. Yeah, and they're physically prepared. Yeah.
And they train hard.
Yeah. So peak performance in its simplicity is being physically strong, mentally focused, and always being in a state of calmness around challenging situations.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard it like that. That's so good.
That is peak performance. Yeah. Easy to say, a lot harder to
do. Beautiful. And then are there any books that have like super transformed your life, like maybe your top 3 books of all time that
have transformed my life? All my educational books, You're
a big reader? Are you audio books?
No, I'm not a big reader. I'm more a doer. So, for instance, let me explain what I mean. Is so when I was doing, I did this life coaching course, and I remember in the first part of it, it was like learning about the GROW model. Do you know the GROW model?
No.
It's goals, reality, options.
As an acronym?
And way forward, yeah.
Okay.
And you're learning it, and then so I'd learn this model, and then I'd send this email out to all my database, which is about 30 people, and said, like, I'm studying this, blah blah blah. Would you be interested in six sessions with me? A little mini program. And I think I charged something like $450 for the 6 sessions, and then I would speak to colleagues, and they went, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to learn more. I need to learn this, and I need to do this." And
before they do coaching with you?
That my colleagues, as in who were studying, my fellow students who were studying it, they would go, I need to learn more.
Right.
I need to learn more. And I went, but you don't know that yet.
Right.
You don't know the GROW model yet, and you're just going to put more stuff on top of the GROW model. Isn't that going to confuse you?
Yeah.
And then is that going to put you in overwhelm because you haven't mastered the first section first? And so I was out practicing this, making loads and loads of mistakes, coming back and going, right, I didn't do that, and I didn't do this, and I should have done that. And I was coming back and learning all this stuff, and then just getting better at it and better at it.
Right.
So
while they were still learning.
while they're going, I've read this book, it's brilliant, and I went, oh, great, yeah. But I've mastered the grow model, and I've helped people. I've helped these 3 people I'm working with, you know, and they've got so much out of it. But you're reading a book, so when people say, you got to participate in life. Reading, I think education can be misconstrued in the wrong way. So you only really want to learn what you need to become better in. So if you're not into finance, don't really read about finance. Go and get someone who's passionate about finance and say, can you look after my finances for me? Obviously you've got to trust them, but because I'm not really interested in finance, I'm interested in performance, and I want to study anything that helps me learn more about helping someone else perform better. If I go off start reading about finance, it's going to be so watered down, and the advice I can give you won't be of any high quality. But I can say to you, Zach, go and speak to some XYZ. They're so passionate about that's all they ever read. It's about finance.
Right.
You're going to be in good hands.
Yeah, totally.
Not only are they good at it, but they're passionate about it as well.
Yeah.
And
who's walking their talk.
Exactly.
Finances in it.
This person's really performing well, and that person's finances are really good. Go and talk to them, and that's. But so many people try and be good at everything, and this is where you fail in your goals.
Well, you're saying there's analysis paralysis. People just learning. And then
exactly, great way of saying
it just stops so many people. I was stuck in that. And you get on YouTube as well, and YouTube you can just learn so much stuff, and you just before you know it, there's like 2 hours gone, and you just I have a friend who just researches in his spare time, but he's not actually doing anything with it. But that's what brings him happiness. You know what I mean? So it depends on what.
The thing about performance is it's got to be productive. If it's not productive, because the reason you could be doing that is because there's a fear there. So when
a fear,
if I spend all my life researching, there's people in their 50s and 60s that have got masters and degrees and PhDs and everything, and you say, how many people have you helped? And they went, none, because I'm so busy educating myself all the time. Well, where's this education going? It's just staying in you. And there's a form of fear there that maybe you don't feel like you're good enough. And you need to know a bit more, and you need to know a bit more. I'll learn one more thing before I do anything.
How does someone get over fear?
You have to work with a good coach.
Right. It's the quickest way.
Yeah. You have to work with a good coach to break that strategy, because he can see the strategy or she can see the strategy and nip it in the bud.
Right.
But you got to be willing to want to move forward. And there's no people who are in the counselling cycle are not going to come and see me as a performance coach, because they're not ready to.
They're just talking about the problems, right?
They're not ready to take their life to the next level. So many people I've worked with have gone through the counselling cycle, and then they'll come and they'll go, I'm ready for you now. I'm ready to do something with my life.
To get results.
The ambitious now. The ambition is really build. No, they were getting results with the counsellor, but it's a different kind of result.
Okay.
Now they're ready to really challenge themselves and really see what they're made of.
Step outside of their comfort zone, I'm sure.
Massively, massively. I don't necessarily step outside of their comfort zone, because your comfort zone can be your painful zone. They're ready to step out of their unknown zone.
Okay.
So from my coaching philosophy, I don't really buy into the comfort and discomfort zone, even though I use it in language because people understand it.
Okay.
I think people more fear of the unknown. So if I say to you, come and buy my product, you're not really stepping out. What you're probably fear is the unknown zone. Well, what am I getting? What's going to happen? Am I putting my money in the right place? Am I going to put my
uncertainty of it all?
Am I going to look silly? Is this? I've gone and signed up for this product because it's unknown.
Right.
Yeah. So I honestly think people are more fearful of the unknown than their discomfort zone, because once they know what they're getting, they're more willing to get out of their comfort zone.
Yep.
If you want to call it, but I know so many people in their comfort zone, it's their known zone. It's not their comfort zone, because
that can still be painful as well. Their comfort zone.
The known zone is you get a lot of discomfort in your known zone.
Right.
Yeah, so when I talk about this and coaching and do my workshops, it's not really, it's going from the known zone to the unknown zone. Yeah.
Okay, good way to put it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're going into an area you're not sure about, which is fearful for you. But once you know it and it becomes familiar, and you go, oh, that wasn't too bad. You know, look, I'm going to a party, I don't know anyone. You know, who I want to talk to and all that. Yeah, I'm going into something that's unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go there and then you meet someone else, and you're in the kitchen, you're having this great conversation, you come home, you go, what was I worried about?
Yeah.
It was the unknown.
It's the unknown of potential pain, I guess.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
This is all, and what fear is, what false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
It's just this.
Yeah,
this
the old
stories.
perceptions that we've made up, that no one's going to like us, no one's going to talk to us. You know, we haven't got anything in common with anyone.
Yeah.
You know, we all do it. We all do it to ourselves.
So it comes back to that point of, I guess, in influence or sales or leadership, you're, you know, helping communicate these ideas and helping them take steps.
Or high achievers are always putting themselves in unknown situations because they want to grow. Where low achievers need to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
They need to control and have an attachment to the situation.
I come back to ego. Is that
that's
an
ego? Yeah,
thing
ego.
as well?
The ego wants you. The ego is a good thing. It wants you to be safe. It wants to keep you safe. And we form the ego around the age of 2 or 3. You know, at that age we'll run out in the road. We have no fear of the road. We'll run out of it, and then eventually we realise running in the road's particularly dangerous. So the ego there is to protect us from that. That represents danger. But where we don't have to hunt anymore, we've created a lot of perceptual fears because we don't have to go into dangerous situations to get food anymore. You know, so the ego is still there, but it's creating a lot of perceptual fears. And you know, when you work with a good coach, they can help you perceive the unknown in a more exciting way than a fearful way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our job as coaches, to push people into the unknown as being exciting and something you want to go to.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So it's just flipping the fear.
And having an example like yourself showing them that, I think we talked about modeling or finding the teachings in other people's your success. Yeah. And like having someone see that in you or you showing them, it's actually a lot easier to change than people think.
Oh, change is simple.
And it's this fear that just cripples people, and it's like sometimes I just want to shake people and be like, come on, wake up.
Exactly. You know, there's studies in, I think in, I'm looking for the word now, in, anyway, but we've got all these conversations going on in our head all the time, and you can create really nice conversations in your head on a daily basis, or you can create really nasty ones. You know, and the job as a coach is to help you, back to the micro habits, to create really good conversations in your head. That's what we're doing, really.
What an example?
Right, instant. So talking to you, listening to your language. I said something early in the conversation where I said something and you went, no worries. Okay, so that's probably something you say regularly. So if you change that and you change it to all good, or that's fine, you're not using the word worry in your daily conversation over and over again. So you're creating the word no and worry. You might say that, you know, you might go into a coffee shop and the person will come up to you and go, oh, I'll just be with you in 2 secs, and you go, no worries. And you might go out, so I'm just moving my cart, no worries. And you probably end up saying that 20, 30, 40 because it becomes a habit. Sure. So you've built in your mind an unresourceful conversation because you're using the word no a lot and you're using the word worry a lot. Whereas if you change that simple strategy of saying, oh, that's all good, or that's fine. You know, now you're saying all and you're saying good 30 times in your mind. So it's creating a different conversation in your head. So, you know, picking up on little things like that, you can improve your performance. It won't happen straight away, but that's just a micro thing you can do over time. So if you hear people saying no worry, you know what's going on in their mindset, a lot of worry. You know, I'm happy to be wrong.
all good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Or when people say, "How are you?" and they're like, "Oh, not bad."
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Yeah.
I don't want to be not bad. You know, like that's just such a. It's like, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Brilliant or fantastic or.
Yeah. And sometimes you want to be honest. Sometimes it can
Sometimes,
be, in the coaching world you can hear, I'm fantastic. Sometimes
Awesome.
I'm awesome. And sometimes you go, I'm having a good day today. Yeah, you know, you can be real as well. And if you are having a bad day, say, I'm not having a good day today. It's being real, but you got to look at the context. But you're saying no worries all day, and it's become a habit. Your brain has to give you what you keep asking for. It has to give you lots of no's in your life, and it has to give you lots of worries, because that's what you're saying. That's what's in your head, and that's what's coming out of your mouth, and has to form a behaviour. So how do you change that behaviour to a resourceful pattern? You have to change your thinking, and then you have to change your communication, and then you have to change your behaviour. Yeah.
It's a strategy.
It is a strategy. Yeah, spot on, Zach.
So with, I guess, a couple more questions. I'm fascinated by the strategy part, and then your willingness to like not give up with your partner, and you said that you just kept going. You just didn't take no for an answer. I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there who have someone in mind that they're in love with, or they know that that's their partner. Do you have any advice for guys to help them get their ideal partner, ideal mate?
Yes. It's the same in any walk. It's the same if you're selling your product or a service to a client. If you're not creating the right space and environment for that person to breathe in, so if you're invading their personal space, you're going to push them away. And if you're creating too much space between you and them, they're going to think you're not interested. So it's that fine
line, right?
Yeah, it's a fine line between knowing it's practice and experience. You know, I wasn't a good salesperson straight away. I had to practice it to understand and see the dynamics play out. Some clients or some girls need more space and time to make a decision. Some clients need more time and space to make a decision. Some clients will make decisions straight away. Some girls will make decisions straight away, you know, and it's just understanding not everyone's the same, and some people need more space to make that decision. So if I come into your space too early, you know, in the courting ritual, you're going to go, fuck, this is too much pressure, this is too intense. The motivation then is to back away. Whereas if he's given me a bit of space, does he like me, doesn't he like me?
Uncertainty, unknown.
Yeah, and it's a great question, Zach, because if you go deeper into it, this is my person from listening to women talk and studying performances. When a man is really resourceful in his masculine energy, and he's got direction and he's got confidence, and he gets up every day and he knows what he's doing in life, and he's really ambitious, women find that really attractive. And it gets to the point where they chase you. Yeah, because you're not really interested in them, yet you are, because really you're interested in becoming the best person you can be the following day, to build your business, to help society, and really tapping into a man and his purpose in life becomes wow. I mean, I know James Bond is a fictitious character, but why do women like him? Because he's on a mission. And I'm really, Bond really likes women and things like that, but really his mission is more important, and he's got direction in his life, and he's after to get a result that will improve society, stop the bomb going off, where people can die. He's doing it for good, and women find that immensely attractive. He looks after himself, he's very fit, he's intelligent in what he does, but the most important thing, he's got direction. I love you. You look at a woman and go, I love you, I find you really sexy. If you don't want me, that's okay, because I've got somewhere to go. And
not attached and not needy.
I'm not needy. I've got a purpose. I'm getting on with my life, and that creates a lot of space then for me to go, he's really hard to get hold of, and when I've got his attention, he gives me all his attention, but then he doesn't really hassle me with texts and phone calls. He's not needy. You know, in fact, it's the other way around. They're going, when's he going to text next, or when's he going to call? You know.
Yeah.
And he, you know, and generally, if he leaves it too long, it'll water out. And if he does it just right, it'll be like you're keeping the spark alive. You know, you're keeping the flame, and then you want that flame to become a really big flame, and then really passionate. So it all starts with that spark, and it all starts with space. And it's the same with you know, you're looking for a partner, or you're selling your product or service.
Interesting.
It's all about, you know, those dynamics. For me, anyway.
Yeah. Well, like there's a lot of new definitions of what masculinity means in today's world. You know, because 50 years ago, the James Bond or the bad boy type archetype, you know, being emotionless type of thing, and you know, on the mission, and the women and stuff. I think for the younger gen, we have this expectation that we have to be this certain way to be a man. We have to be this, and this. It's this like crazy criteria or strategy. Yeah. I guess. What does it mean to be a man in today's? Is it different to be a man today? Like I know you've brought up, you know, a 24-year-old boy. Now man now. And do you find
he tells me what to do? So does my daughter, actually.
and but yeah, you have it as well, like that strong masculine energy.
Oh, thank you.
How does someone create that? Is there a way? Did your dad teach you that?
Great. That's the great point. Is that I think men need, and it's really interesting in my coaching. I've got a lot of guys between the ages of 28 and 40 that I work with, helping them discover their real purpose and turning it into a very successful business. And role models, men need role models in life, really good role models where they can go, that's how you be a man. You know, it's really, really important that they can see and go, oh, that's how you be a man, that's how you treat a woman, that's how you not take yourself so seriously. You know, that's how, you know, you love what you do. You need someone around you to spend that time and energy with, so they can go, because they don't really know. You know, with women, they're great communicators. They talk to each other. They've got a problem, they just talk about it. Men don't really do it, so they need examples rather, so they can sit there quietly and just study. You know, because men need to go in their cave and work it all out.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I need to go into my office sometimes just on my own, put some music on and work on my programs. And need that space. Whereas the feminine energy, when I'm in my feminine energy, you want to get out, you want to communicate, you want to talk to people, you know, you want to listen more, you want to be more nurturing, you know, you want to receive more. So it's getting that balance right in yourself. But you know, to answer your question about what is a man, a man is the man the way Mother Nature designed him. It's just that, you know, instead of having a spear or a sling and a rock to go and get our food, now we do it through
communication,
through being passionate about, you know, you're passionate about interviewing people and your channel and health, and you do it that way. You know, and you go, well, how can I sharpen this tool? And can I really get up every day and sharpen it, you know, and deliver it to more people?
Interesting.
Yeah.
You
know, how can I be that hunter? Can I bring that? And it's got to be authentic and not from a point of ego. It's got to be, you know, I've .com the name called The Authentic Hunter, and that's going to be my book. And it's talking about, you know, how to build a business for a young man, being an authentic hunter. You know, and you've got to tap into your purpose and your passion, and I want to be great at what I do. I build a business, and I know it needs money, and I know I need money to have a great personal life as well, and meet my needs, you know, personally as well. But I want to build a business that is bigger than me. So a lot of the people I work with now, they come in, they want to build a business that's bigger than them. They really want to sharpen that tool and be great at what they do, and build wealth on the back of it, rather than coming in, I just want to earn money, you know, because I want to live in a house. It's a different energy. And when you work with that energy, time, you know, you say, oh, I've got 90 minutes, and 3 hours later you're still in the business session, because just time flies, because you're working with someone that's like you want to, you know, that's fascinating. I want to become better at this, and how can we do this, and how can we do that. And we're not talking about money. We're talking about improving your service or improving your product or improving your systems so you can help more people.
And you were saying before about like the feminine energy, you know, for men to, is it okay for a man to embody, like as a man we have feminine and masculine energies, you know, and that you were saying it's the creative energy is more feminine.
Yeah, more right brain, and that comes from more of the, so you need that time to just be still and not write goals or anything like that and just be creative. Whether, you know, I find I'm really creative if I'm going out for a swim in the morning. All these creative ideas come in, you know. I'm more in my receptive mode, and the feminine energy is all about receiving. You know, so you have to be in a receptive mode for that creativity, the juices of creativity to start flowing. If you're in your left brain and you're in your real masculine energy in a resourceful way, you're thinking too much about the steps and the goals and the strategy of what you created in your feminine energy. So they both have to marry together to get the best
and
out.
Women can be masculine.
Women are masculine. You need masculine energy to give birth. They have to get angry, don't they? They have to, all that pain, you know. Well, I mean, they have to really, because they're giving. The masculine energy is all about giving,
right?
And so they're giving birth. So women, and you know, when they're nesting period and that, they're giving. They're caring about the family. They're caring about their business, and so they're in their masculine energy. So if a woman comes to me and she's burnout, it's because she spent too long in her masculine energy. Because she's producing less testosterone than a man. So when they're coming in there on burnout, they're staying too long in their masculine energy to build a business, and they're not going back and re-energizing themselves by spending enough time in their feminine energy.
Interesting.
And it's the other way around for guys. If we spend too long in our feminine energy, we become lethargic and sort of wishy-washy. And we need to get back into our masculine energy, resourceful masculine energy, and have some drive and purpose in our life. To tap into that. So
it's interesting. I watched this documentary the other day. I love documentaries. It's called Misrepresentation, and there's another one called The Masks We Wear. So you've seen that one?
On Netflix? I've flipped in and out of that.
The Masks We Live In is about masculinity for men. What does it mean to be a man? And then there's also a series at the moment called Man Up on SBS, which is really interesting. And suicide and masculinity and stuff. It's really good. And then the Misrepresentation is about women's women leadership. You know, from being, you know, the housewife to now being the businesswoman. But you know, I think is there something missing? Like, because I think some women who are super masculine are like out there achieving. They've kind of lost that feminine touch as well, unfortunately. Is that something that you find? Like, is there a way to meld the two and help people get back in touch with their energy? I guess
it does come back to that. Do they want to? Because it can become very addictive. You know, you become addicted to the power. You become addicted to the adrenaline rush. You become addicted to the chemicals it produces when you're in that zone, you know, and it becomes...
It's an addiction.
Well, it does. Power's an addiction, So you give someone power, whether they're using it resourcefully or unresourcefully, it's very addictive, and but it can also be very harmful as well. And so if you spend too much time in your masculine energy, as a man or as a woman, you know, you'll hit burnout, you know, so... and if you spend too much time in your feminine energy, you get lethargic, you know, because that's the unresourceful side. So, you know, the resourceful side of the feminine energy is having really clear boundaries. And so if you haven't got very good clear boundaries, your life can become very chaotic. And this is where you become disorganized, you know, in your business and in your life. So you need to really master that area in your feminine energy. And then the masculine energy is very resourceful side is very driven to get results, to have purpose, to build something, to protect and provide. Where the feminine energy is wants to nurture more and look after, you know, self and energy. and reserve energy and preserve it. Yeah. So it's getting the balance right. So when you're working with an elite athlete, for instance, if he's just exercising all the time and he's not spending time to recover, because it's only in the recovery period that you get fit. Yeah. When you're exercising, you're actually damaging your body.
Yeah.
But if you don't then go, I feel guilty not doing anything, I feel guilty resting, which can happen a lot. You hear that a lot. Oh, I feel guilty when I'm doing anything in my business, Well, actually, you're not actually building a good business. You're just taking unresourceful energy into it. So you really need to step away from it, actually recover, sleep well, go for a massage, look after yourself, eat well, catch up with friends, have a laugh, because it re-energizes you, helps you recover. So when you go back and you're more productive. So building a business is about being productive, not being busy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we've covered so much.
Yeah. It's been good.
It's been awesome. Thank you so much. If there was like, your last 30 seconds on Earth, and you could share like your message or your final message with the world, what would you like to share with
my message is always the same. It's always simple. We're only gifted so much energy in our lifespan, and we're only gifted so much time, and whatever you want to do with that should be up to you. And that's my philosophy.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sure everyone's got so much from this.
Yeah, that's our pleasure.
They're gonna love it. So thank you so much for being here.
It's been an actual pleasure.
Until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you very, very soon.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.